9th day of August, and it's going to be a scorcher. I've already got my jobs done uptown that I needed to get done. It's going to might rain Tuesday, good chance of rain Tuesday and Wednesday, and I want to get this bottom clover field that we put the lime in. I want to get it worked up and get it done. Now I'm going to put a nurse crop on that, but what I mean is I'll be putting forage oats, incorporating them into the dirt and bringing the clover back on top. So that nurse crop will help get it going, plus it'll relieve some of the grazing pressure on the new clover. So without any further to do, folks, I got to get to cranking this fertilizer on, but it's getting warm. The reason I'm not using my big spreader is hard to get down in here, and I can make one trip with these handbags in and out. The other way I'd have to make 2 trips in and out. So let's get to cranking it on. 13. Well, I thought I was going to be able to run the pulverizer on this and incorporate that, but here's the situation. Sun's moved, and here's very black dirt. It's right on the verge of being too wet. You can see the tire tracks in there. Just underneath this tree. I could broadcast it on, I guess, but then I'm just going to go get the disc and disc it, because down through here in the middle it needs some air to it, and we got time. If you rush it, plant in the mud, your crop's going to be a dud. So it's last year this was pure dust, but I can show you right now it's got a lot of moisture in it, and it's right on the verge of being good, but it's still too wet. And like I said, you plant in the mud, it'll compact the ground too tight. And so we'll run up and get the disc hooked up, no big deal. And come back and let some air get in here, disc the fertilizer in. Got a little breeze blowing, that wind starts blowing, we'll possibly dry this thing out, but we'll unhook the pulverizer, get the disc hooked up, and come back and get on with the program. But you can't lie to yourself. If your conscience is telling you it's wet, that's your knowledge. Now, up in here, it would be perfect. Where the sun's hitting it, it's dry. I can pick that up. That's perfect. But you get out, you can see that darker soil. We'll have to get the disc on. So I gotta get this going. Another thing, that's my supply of water that I can wash off with. So when you get hot, you can cool down.
Osceola and Sheraton, rest of today, sunny, hot and humid. A 20% chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. High in the lower 90s. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Gusts up to 20 miles an hour in the morning. Heat index readings 105 to 110. Tuesday night, thunderstorms likely. Low around 70. South wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of thunderstorms 60%. Highest heat index readings 101 to 106 until midnight. Wednesday, sunny with a 20% chance of thunderstorms. High in the lower 90s. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts to around 20 miles an hour. Highest heat index readings 102 to 107 in the afternoon.
Well, you just heard the weather forecast. They put heat index like 105, whatever that's worth. But it's not supposed to rain until tomorrow night. But down here in this low ground, that's why I want to get the turn. We'll get some good winds, dry it out, because I don't want to plant it in that wet soil, because that's why you plant clover down here and it does real good, but yet It holds the moisture too. So let's get the disc running. That'll open it up and let it dry out. And if the wind picks up, that will help it better. Out and show you the effects of this disking. You see that green weeds in there? Well, we run that disc over there and you can see the contrast. That knocked them weeds, set them back, knocked them out. And we got the fertilizer in there and you can see how clean that is. Now over here is your weed green flesh from your native seed bank and some of the seed that came back from last year's annuals. Now I want to make one thing clear. I know there's a place for no-till. If you're up north, all land's not equal. My land is heavy, wet land, holds a lot of moisture. When it dries out, it gets hard as asphalt. You're not going to no-till that. You're going to have to till it. Now if you're up north and you're unblessed, and actually I got blessed thousands and thousands of years ago by the glacier meltdown that brought all you people's black dirt from Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin. All your topsoil slid down in northern Iowa and it was deposited in northern Iowa fields and even down here in southern Iowa. So all soils are not equal. So if you do what you got to do. But what I'm saying, in Iowa, if you're no-tilling small seed, you can get away with no-tilling corn and beans because they're a big seed and they'll come right up through there. They got enough energy. And if you put anhydrous in there with your corn, it'll bust right through there. And if not, you can always go get what they used to call a rodeo hoe up in northern Iowa. They use that extensively, especially if it got hard panned and the seed couldn't emerge up through that hard pan black soil. And now it's black, but I'll tell you what, when it packs down by the rain and the sun, it becomes concrete or asphalt hard. And that's why I do traditional tillage, because I got the dirt that it works. Now, you do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to argue with the no-till and all that, no-frill. But when this field's ready, it will not have any residue on top. And it'll be a perfect seed bed. Know your land and do what your land lets you do. And I don't have the rocks, I don't have the sand, I don't have the red clay. I got good black dirt, and I'm growing the dirt. I'm not killing it by tilling it. So let's get on with disking this. I want to take you for a walk about the right about. In here where it's all shaped, it's really wet. That's why we got to hit it with the disc one time. Let some air get in. Out here, I'll show you how it's turning up real good. Okay, this area right here, I'll show you as we disc it. Well, we left it set for 3 hours. We're working on other stuff, and now we're going to walk around. I'm going to show you how that dried out and why it was important to disc it up, let the air get to it and the heat. Now you can see this is beautiful dirt right here, just beautiful, right moisture content. And over here under these trees, the sun finally got over in here. and it did its thing. And out. It's still a little damp under there, but the sun ain't never going to get in there. The only way that's ever going to get is with the wind. But out here in these open areas, the sun really got to them, and it really, not much wind, as you can tell. Probably you'd be lucky if it was 10 miles an hour. So we didn't get no benefit from the wind today. But you can just definitely see we got some drying time. There's 3 hours of drying time, and that's pretty good. And like I said, it was worth disking it up and getting the air to it, because now it won't compact as hard as it was. And it's probably all, well, we'll find out what it is on the heat index. Back up in here under these trees. Now, you know, it didn't dry a whole lot. So what we'll do is we'll run the pulverizer through here and level it out, and then just seed over it and let it work its way into the ground, because you'll just be compacting it in that, see the tire track there. So, but you plant your clover in low ground, so and this last year it was nothing but dust down here. So what a difference a year makes.
Afternoon, sunny. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. These are the 4 p.m. conditions for the Lamoni area. At the Lamoni airport, it was sunny. The temperature was 90 degrees, the dew point 75, and the relative humidity 61%, producing a heat index of 100.
Get the pulverizer and smooth this field out real nice. There's the proof of the value of that pulverizer. You can back into areas and pull stuff out. 3-point hit, you lift up, back in, pull out. It really levels that out really good. Yeah, that just makes a beautiful seed bed. See, you can get in between the trees and it just fluffs it up. And you can, like I say, it's really good because you can back in and pull out. That's what I would say. The benefit about having some 3-point that you can pick up. If you was in a harrow, you'd have a hard time getting in and around all them trees. Now it's all leveled out. So let's get on. I'll get going down the straight track. I'm going to put up the video camera until I start seeding. Well, there's the properly prepared seed bed. Oh man, that dirt's perfect. Damp. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna plant what a nurse calls the nurse crop. We're gonna put about half a rate of forage oats on here, then work them in. Then we're going to broadcast the full rate of Whitetail Institute clover. And the nurse crop will germinate real quick, so you don't need to put on the full amount. So we'll get a bag and get some cranking on. Well, let's get the cranking the forage oats on. Now what these will act like, they'll come on green fast, and we'll have to run over it one more time, and then we'll broadcast the clover on, and we'll just leave the clover at grade. Yeah, I got some dirt in my bag, dirt bag. So it keeps plugging up down there. Now we're going to run over it lightly just to put that forage oat in the ground, and we'll just scuff it up one more time, and then we're going to put the whitetail clover on top, and we won't run over it because it'll be just fine, as good as this ground is. Now you can see the seed on top of the ground, and all you have to do is go over here and see where I ran the pulverizer lightly. I got it set way back, the pitch on it, and right here you'll see the seed. See that white seed? Well, it don't take long. Walk white seed all through here. There's a pass with the pulverizer. It's incorporated. Don't have to go very deep, but I got that little circle right there to do. And then we got the forage oats, but it should cover it real lightly, no more than a ½ inch. And like I say, you can see it right here laying on top. Now when I come and put the clover on, the clover will stay on top. It's loose enough, uniform enough. I don't want to pack the ground down for the oats that try to come up like in these areas where it's a little damp at. You'll see that back of those rollers are just rolling it in. The front are out of the ground basically. Now I'll do that little circle right there and you can see. Take you back out here and show you what that did. Remember, you could see the seed, and it's just incorporated. You know, there's some on the ground, but you know, a little scuff of rain or something. But you do not see a real broadcasted area. It's incorporated. And that back roller is what's doing it. That's why it's all dirty. So, let's get her on. We got these 2-pound bags. We got 4. Each one does a 1/4 acre. So we'll get to cranking them on. Now, like I said, this is the last step. All we got to do is crank the clover on and leave it on top of the ground. Not going to hurt anything. And the nice thing about that is you can see the clover because it's got the rain-bound coating on it, which is bright blue. So we'll go with that and see how we come out. Now, I put a ½ acre in there, and the reason I did that, I don't want to get too carried away and put too much on too fast. So I'll get to cranking it on down that way. And that's all there is to it. Just crank it on. You can see your footsteps. Beautiful finish. So it'll come out of it. Well, that's going to be a wrap on it. What time is it now? Yeah. Boy, it's been a long day and a hot one.